Finland, the Model E country from a Finn's perspective. Finland boasts about being like Canada, the smart little brother United States with all the good modern democratic stuff without the stupid sides of America, or as in the case of Finland, the corruption and other problems of its southern cousins. Yet, as corrupt as Italy and Greece may be, Finland is even worse than America in its treatment of the only indigenous in Europe. Just like America, it took away their language by making it punishable to utter even a word of it, but unlike America, it made cannabis legal and alcohol the only allowed substance for its indigenous. Following a rich Soviet tradition, Finland wants to poison her indigenous, unable to keep their wits and traditions together. As corrupt and crooked as Finland's southern cousins in the European Union may be, at least they have some general compassion. Because Finland wants to be the least corrupt, it doesn't allow pain alleviation. Drugs are bad, okay? And Finland protects its dying on terminal care from the dangers of cannabis so that it gets confiscated and patients get marked as criminals ineligible for travel visas so they cannot escape to Amsterdam for a herbal remedy. What's more, the mobster state of Russia may do a lot of business with mafia around Italy, but so did Finnish president who was a classmate of Vladimir Putin's. Her name is Tarja Halonen. The entire Socialist Democratic Party SDP is famous for being pro-Russian. In Finland, it still matters no matter if you want to become a thespian, an actor that is, in a theater, a librarian, a news reporter, a journalist, etc., that you are a Communist Party member. Well, not really communist, just Bernie Sanders type of socialist, but with more sucking up to Mother Russia's huilo. But to be fair, a truly pro-Russian party did try to get elected and only got like 100 votes. Funny how everybody in Russia knows who is the huilo by this derogatory term alone, and how Putin's henchmen like the spokesperson for this pro-Russian party in Finland that got almost 0 votes looks like an actual huilo, a bobbing prickhead. In the socialist wonderland of Finland, one cannot get rich by running a good business, as one gets taxed to death up to like 70%. Instead, the only way to get rich is to steal the taxpayers' money, as they pay so much there's a lot of money to be stolen. This is called business planning, maximizing the amount of government handouts. That sort of income revenue goes untaxed, you see. Like Canada, Finland also has a second national language for the sake of their Canadian French minority. However, the Finns did this worse than Canadians. In Finland, you cannot graduate as a plumber without passing the local French exam, the Swedish it's called. That is why many Swedish speakers go missing annually, as Finns tend to be hostile for having to learn a language with less than 10 million speakers on this very planet. Just joking. Finland, what Canada is the United States, we can do it better. We can do it even worse than Canada. We can go even further up our arses and drown our fine Finlanders in socialist gobbledygook rhetoric and idealism that is about helping people and overprotecting the most vulnerable, and at the same time being monsters in the name of protection. Turning into monsters in the name of protecting people. Free speech and cannabis are forbidden to protect those who cannot handle free speech, nor handle a substance that is psychoactively less tripping than a cup of joe. What a great idea to make indigenous shamanism illegal and make alcohol the only legal way to see things in a country that is very indigenous. Whereas the Sami are the Native Americans of Europe, the entire country speaks a language that is very close to this indigenous language. They're so closely related that I, for one, picked up Northern Sami like that, and I'm now making indigenous language learning videos of it. Finland burned Sami alive for just a mere possession of a shamanic drum, and to this day doesn't allow natural healers to practice their profession, nor let its natives practice their traditional livelihoods such as reindeer herding, fishing, and excavates in holy sites. So we are worse than Canada, much due to our attempt to be the best student in the class looking down at our noses, the corrupt Italians, while we ourselves are such sticklers to the rules that we punish those who get caught off one cigarette laden with cannabis all through eternity, or at least until death do them apart from being subjects to draconian laws about pain alleviation. Finland finishes a man. Why couldn't this fresh member of NATO become like America? What you do in the privacy of your home is your business, but once you open that door, you act like a chip of the good old American monoculture. But here an individual doesn't even get a break in his own home. If a neighbor suspects he smells weed, the police will come and landlord gets automatically notified even if the drug bust turned out empty and if it was a case of mistaken address. A Finn can lose his apartment for a falsified call to the police that the stench of cannabis reached from the apartment below. Finland would be a great country to live in if these issues were addressed, and at least the amputated were made marked down as criminals for using cannabis to relieve the pain of an amputated limb. Sharing over 700 miles of border with Russia has made Finland paranoid of being attacked yet again. It is scared not to be anything less than the model student within the European Union in order to escape Russia as far as possible. Therefore, people like me who know 10 languages and have proved themselves worthy know 10 languages and have proved themselves to be worthy through higher education and via a decade of working with great recommendations are made to collect refundable bottles off the street, as a person once having tried cannabis for pain relief is forever mocked man with a criminal mind and cannot even get a travel visa out of this hellhole that even makes its indigenous alcoholics by law. What I mean is, it renders its indigenous to alcoholics by law, by default, as there's nothing else.